Hello. I want to talk today a little bit about love. I don't often go down this path in the world of domestic violence and anger because there's so many other things that people feel, and more often than not, they're not feeling love during the time of that type of behavior. So, for us to kind of go down that path right now, yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to see what comes out of it, okay? So open your mind, think a little bit, and just kind of follow some of the conversation. Have you examined your love? Have you examined your love? What does that mean? What am I asking? What does your love look like to you? Love that you look at from your perspective. I need you to think about, what is it that you're offering? What is it? Is it a constant good? Is it an occasional good? Is it good and bad? And when it's bad, how bad is it? What does the person look like? I'm sorry, not look like. What does the person who you love, who you give yourself to, how do they respond to your love? Love is a very difficult conversation to have, simply because there are so many variations, there are so many different thoughts. But you got to start somewhere. And the reason it's important is because if you're not in a love zone, what zone are you in? I often talk about it's easy to attack and hurt someone emotionally or physically when you're not in the love zone. So, have you examined your love? Is your love that love that comes in, or it's expressed or not really expressed? It's just assumed to exist because you live in the same house and you're paying bills, or you cook dinner maybe, but you're also extremely controlling. You're very jealous. You're argumentative. So, what does your love look like to you? Have you examined it? That walks right into the next question. How do you know what your love looks like? What does the other person say? How does the other person respond to you? Are they often disappointed, upset, emotionally traumatized because your love is not pleasing, it's not comforting, it's not satisfying, it's not something that you share even because you're not quite sure how to share your love, how to express the love in a comfortable manner? It's really important to think about these things because what are you giving to a relationship? I'll tell anyone, hey, if you don't know the emotions, that everything can walk right out the door. Everything you can lose because you don't know someone emotionally. What does your love look like? Have you examined it? Think about that and then move on with me. How is your love presented? How does it make a woman, or in some cases, a man feel? How does she make you feel? What does that love, how do you present it? I guess that is absolutely the best thing. Is it supportive? Is it controlling? Is it violent? Is it aggressive? Is it soothing and comforting? Is it what everybody would want? And someone saying that, boy, I really love the way she or he makes me feel. And I'm not saying sometimes, I'm saying most of the time. And remember, when we have an ugly moment, how ugly does the moment get? So, how do you make a person feel with your love? Is your love primarily physical or emotional or supportive? And those are things just for you to think about. The physical love is the intimacy, the touching, all of the things that a person feels with their body, with their hands, the kissing. Is it primarily physical? You can kiss a person and never say, I love you. You can make love to a person, and the only time you touch them is when you're making love. How do you express that? Is that your style? And is that style satisfactory for your significant other? Is your love more emotional? Is it the type of love that a person feels good with because you share, you sit down and talk, you have those moments where you can smile together and you understand, you put forth the effort to understand. And it's not a one-way street, it's a two-way street. Both of you can share. When you both can express how you feel, the things that you go through, what your day was like, what you want in the future, what your past was like. When you're able to do that, a person gets to know you intimately. A person gets to know you and feel comfortable and share with you. I truly believe that the more you're in the love zone, the less you'll be in any type of anger or aggressive mode. Okay. Now, and the other thing I was asking, is it supportive love? I pay the bills. I make sure she or he has what they want, what they need, financially, materially. I don't say I love you. I don't put my hands on you a lot. I don't touch you the way you might want to be touched, but I'll show you. I'll do anything for you. So when we look at the love that we offer to someone, is it complete? Is it what they need? Now, how do you know? Ask the question. Sit down after you listen to this conversation. Engage in a conversation with your significant other and talk about love. And after you talk about the love and you talk about what the needs are and how a person feels and what you can do better or different, how you can show what your love is. I also encourage you to sit down and talk to the kids. The reason it's important to talk to the kids is that you don't want someone in the community to present love to them when they're vulnerable, when they're receptive, and virtually everyone on earth wants to be loved. So give the kids an opportunity to hear what perhaps is good love, perhaps the type of love that will give them a foundation moving forward. But before you go there, make sure that you have the words that you need to present to them by presenting them and engaging in with your significant other. It's really important to be prepared to present. So the question was, is your love primarily physical or emotional or supportive? Think about it. Think about it and act upon it in a positive way. And keep in mind, love zone is the best zone to be in. Now, how strong do you think your love is? How strong do you think your love is? I've heard people say, I'll die for a person. I'll do anything for them. I'll do all of these other things. When I've heard that, I've often laughed, because it's amazing to me. Because again, as a provider, I see the other side of that all of the time. I hear, well, wait a minute, this is the same person that you love. What broke y'all up? She called me out of my name. Or he did such and such. He called me, he was disrespectful. He called me a hoe or something. But keep in mind that love is a thought. It's a thought that comes and goes. We are seldom constantly in our love thought because there's so many other thoughts to go on during the course of the day. I often address to my clients, when you were cursing him or her out and you were punching or trying to hurt them, were you in love at that moment? No, because the emotion that they're in is the intensity of anger or laced with aggression. So it's not a love zone. Remember, if I said I love you, if I said that at 12 noon, at 12:01, am I going to be fighting you? If I hug you and kiss you at noon, and then I kiss you again at 1, I kiss you again at 2 or 3, I tell you that I love you. Hey, Dow, how you doing? It's important to keep that positive in your mind. And I guarantee you, the more you can keep it on your mind, when moments occur when you feel a certain way inside, you will be less apt to be aggressive or foul. You won't say that hurting word because your mind is still holding on to the love zone. Okay, my question was, how strong do you think your love is? Is it strong enough to handle jealousy? Is it strong enough to handle those harsh words at a given time? Can you recover from that? Is it strong enough for you to simply check yourself, to control your lips, your hands, your aggression? Is it strong enough to handle that? Because remember, if you do something, you're guilty of it, and you cannot rationalize it away. I hear a lot about provocation. It will not work in the eyes of the law. It will not work in the eyes of the law. The question was, how strong do you think your love is? Think about that. Does your love represent commitment? If it represents commitment, how far is that commitment? That commitment wraps around with how strong you think your love is. When you combine commitment and the strength of your love, what can you endure? What will you try to endure for love? And that love, more often than not, represents the entire family. It represents the presentation of the family, how that family handles moments that are challenging. All of these things are extremely important, and we can all have challenging moments. But remember, what are you capable of? Is there something more appropriate to describe your relationship than the word love? That is something that you really have to dive into, because not always is there a love relationship. We can exist in relationship and be very, very comfortable with the person that we're sharing our life with, but we're not really in love, because love might not be something that's common to you, that's well known. You could even think it, but you don't say it. So think about what that relationship is and try to share that. But in sharing a relationship without the word love means that you have to be aware of your mate, your partner, what they need. If they need to hear, I love you, and that's not what you're offering, think about it before you say it. I just want you to think about some of the things that relate to love and who you are in the love zone, okay? Now, last question. Think about your love and your anger, and which is most powerful? Which is most powerful, your love or your anger? The thing about anger is that it can be a moment, a matter of seconds, and damage that can be irreversible, because anger can do so much to us, physically and mentally. You never have to touch a person, but you can say some of the most hurting words that can scar a person's brain, their emotional stability for the rest of their lives. So when you talk about anger and love, if you can stay in the love zone versus the anger, which is stronger for you? Which has the most impact? Which are you more willing to give? Love or anger? Which is more comfortable for you? Are you able to express or share that love? Or are you easily pushed to anger? And when you get angry, you let it go. It's something for you to think about. Just some love points. I just want you to think about it. Take care of yourself and always think about what we talk about.